Known simply as the city that never ever sleeps, New York has cemented itself as one of the most busy and bustling urban centers that the world has ever known. Although it's true that New York has erected some of the most iconic landmarks and breathtaking architectural wonders, it wasn't always the case. So in this video, we'll be talking about New York's transformation and what it has in store for us in the future. Welcome to Lux City. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and smash that notification bell button for more videos on the elevated life. And don't hesitate to leave a comment below and destroy that like button. I don't want to keep you waiting, so let's move on to the video. The island of Manhattan was discovered in 1600 by European explorer Henry Hudson. However, the city's rapid transformation started over 160 years later after the American independence movement. New York's close proximity with waterways and high terrain made it the perfect location for an urban center in 1815, and by this time, it was already the most populous city in the world. States and its economic supremacy was further strengthened in 1825, when the Erie Canal, a waterway connecting New York with the interior continent, was opened for trade in the following years. The city became a gateway to America, and its population skyrocketed with people from all parts of the world who began settling in the city. New York's economic engine quickly reached top speed after the Civil War. Along with a thriving economy came a building, starting with the famous Brooklyn Bridge in 1883. It was the longest suspension bridge in the world at the time of its opening and connected the independent territories of Brooklyn and Manhattan. In the midst of the post-Civil War economic rise, New York received a gift from France, a sculpture to commemorate the recent abolition of slavery. Built in France and shipped overseas in crates, the Statue of Liberty was finally erected in 1886, standing as an icon of freedom at the shores of the first megacity in the world. The Brooklyn Bridge's completion was followed by a succession of modern high-rise buildings in New York, such as the first skyscraper to break the 100-meter height barrier that was the 106-meter-tall Manhattan Life Insurance. The construction boom starting with the Brooklyn Bridge didn't ever stop. The city kept turning into a concrete jungle with high-rise buildings which were popping up all over. By 1930, New York was home to another architectural landmark, the Empire State Building. It soared 443 meters into the New York skies to become the tallest skyscraper in the world at that time, a title which it retained for over 40 years. That building to this day remains one of the most famous tourist destinations in the world. Central Park spreads over an area of 843 acres and serves quite literally a breath of fresh air, located between the Upper West and Upper East sides of Manhattan. Covered in the green landscapes, the park attracts over 42 million visitors every year and has become a blueprint for urban parks all over the world. New York's transformation into the world's most influential metropolis is completed, of course, by Wall Street, the financial capital of the world. This 8-block-long street in the financial district of Lower Manhattan is both the symbol and geographical heart of American capital today. Home to the world's two largest stock exchanges by total market capitalization, Wall Street has, for better or worse, gone to dictate markets all over the world. Over the past few centuries, New York has evolved into a commercial, financial, and cultural hub. And today, after the phase of rapid growth, the skyline is giving weight to modern and futuristic buildings, like the recently completed one Vanderbilt opened in 2020. It was described as a rarity, a civic-minded Goliath. We also recently saw the completion of residential high-rises, like the Central Park Tower on 111 West 57th. Both skyscrapers rose over 400 meters into the sky, taking the second and third place respectively on the list of New York's tallest buildings. The coronavirus pandemic slowed down construction industry of New York. However, there are still several impressive projects that will rise in the near future. One of these projects is the construction work on the original World Trade Center. Plans for a 403-meter skyscraper to replace the two World Trade Centers are currently not in sight. But there are two other projects closer to completion at the World Trade Center complex, so who knows what the future has in store for us. Adjacent to the 9/11 Memorial will stand the second project on the site, the St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church. The church was completely destroyed in the collapse of the World Trade Center tower and is now being rebuilt. The structure will be built with 4-foot thick concrete, giving it a slightly raised position in relation to the World Trade Center memorial site, located further down the road. There are plans for a futuristic skyscraper, the Tower 5, which is thought to become a major attraction for Midtown Manhattan. The population of the New York metropolitan area has swelled to 20 million, and one of the biggest challenges ahead is providing affordable housing developments like Pacific Parks, Hunters Point, and will make its point in Queens. Will add many affordable housing units to the city over the coming decades. The most notable transit project tip to make a difference in the city is the 2nd Avenue subway. The subway was first proposed in 1919 when traffic congestion was already a problem for an expanding New York. However, because of the Great Depression meant the funds dried up and the project never really materialized. The plans for the transit project were drawn up once again in 2006. And finally, almost a century later, the first phase of the project opened amid huge fanfare in 2017. Plans for a second phase were halted by the COVID-19 pandemic and are set for a resumption in 2022. Once completed, the full twin track would extend to 13.7 kilometers and serve 1 million riders. Another mega project set to reshape New York is the Hudson Yard and mega development. Extending over 28 acres along the Hudson River, it is the largest private real estate venture in American history. The $25 billion development will be home to some of the most amazing works of architecture in the world. The site already houses several super tall skyscrapers and a $500 million city-sponsored art center. The art center, called The Shed, supports an unprecedented movable structure that adapts to all kinds of creative work under one roof. However, the most notable of all is Essex Crossing, an under construction mixed-use development in New York's Lower East Side that will add multiple hundred units of permanently affordable housing for low, moderate, and middle-income households. The billion-dollar project, sitting on a total of 9 city blocks, will be completed by 2020. So it's safe to say, with what they've done, that New York is most certainly a powerhouse of trade and opportunities. Their growth from that small, timid village to the very proud and confident city they now are is nothing short of breathtaking. And with so many new projects on the horizon for them, the people of New York seem destined to not only maintain its standards, but to go higher and brighter with time. Tell us in the comments if you've ever been to New York, and if you have, what you make of the place. Thanks for making it to the end of our video. Which part did you find the most interesting? Type it down in the comment section. And if you like this video, don't forget to destroy that like button. For more videos on luxury, subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell button. As always, thank you for watching and catch you in the next one.